Diddy has been accused of setting up Tupac at Quad Studios. Kirk Burrows, the former CEO of Bad Boy Records, who just filed a lawsuit against Diddy, just updated his lawsuit with information about what happened to Tupac the night that he was attacked at Quad Studios. In Kirk Burrows' lawsuit against Diddy, he was already blaming him for the unaliving of Tupac and Biggie. Kirk Burrows alleged that Diddy felt insecure about Tupac's association with Bad Boy Records' former affiliates and industry executives. He alleged that Diddy became increasingly obsessed with Tupac's growing popularity and perceiving him as a direct threat to his dominance in the music business. And he said that he witnessed Diddy express paranoia and frustration over Tupac's success, indicating a deep-seated need to diminish his rival influence. And now he adds the beginning part of what happened to Tupac at Quad Studios, and he alleged that Diddy, through an associate, is the one that invited Tupac to Quad Studios. Now, he went on to explain exactly what happened to Tupac when he arrived and how he got attacked and robbed in that elevator at Quad Studios. Kirk Burrows then added that in 1995, in Tupac's Vibe interview, that he named Diddy and the associates as either having set up the attack or knowing it was going to go down and not warning him, and this is what ended the relationship between Tupac and Biggie. And in this interview, Tupac was asked directly if he felt that Diddy set up what happened at Quad Studios, and he said that only they can answer that question, adding that he had his own opinions, but he would not slander their name like they did his. And then he went on to say, "I do believe so, and that I have proved things that I can say that will back up my claim, but that is not for the world to know about." He said that this was between him and Diddy and only he knows, but he said that every time they say that it didn't happen is what made this a bigger and bigger issue. And back when Tupac said all of this, people were literally saying that Tupac was crazy for thinking that Diddy and Biggie did this. Now we have Kirk Burrows saying that actually Diddy is the one that had an associate reach out to Tupac to get him to Quad Studios. So I think it's really important that we go over the Vibe magazine interview that Tupac did saying what happened at Quad Studios. So in this interview with Vibe magazine, they asked Tupac if he could take them back to that night that happened at Quad Studios. He said he got a page from this guy named Booker telling him that he wanted him to rap on Little Sean's record. Now this guy was going to charge because I could see that he was just using me. So I said, "All right, you give me 7 G's and I'll do the song." He said, "I've got the money, come on." He said he stopped off to get some stuff and then he was paged again, "Where you at? Why you ain't coming?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm coming, hold on." Tupac then said that he called this man back to ask him for directions and he was like, "I don't have the money." I said, "If you don't have the money, I'm not coming." And he hung up the phone and then called him back and said, "I'm going to call Uptown Entertainment CEO Andre Harrell to make sure that you get the money, but I'm going to give you the money out of my pocket." And he said, "All right, I'm on my way." When they arrived at Quad Studios, there was a dude outside in army fatigues with his hat low on his face. He said when we walked to the door, he didn't look up. He said that he's never seen a man not acknowledge me in one way or another, either with jealousy or respect. But this guy just looked to see who I was and then turned his face down. At the time, it didn't click for him because he just got done smoking. He said, "I'm not thinking something will happen to me in a lobby. While we're waiting to get buzzed in, I saw a dude sitting at a table reading a newspaper and he didn't look up either." At first, he thought these dudes were security for Biggie because he could tell that they were from Brooklyn from their army fatigues. But then he said, "Wait a minute, even Biggie's homeboys love me. Why don't they look up?" He said he pressed the elevator button and turned around, and that's when the dudes came out with 2 identical 9mm and said, "Don't nobody move, everybody on the floor. You know what time it is. Run your stuff." After he got hit and robbed in the elevator, he said that he stood up and he went to the door. As soon as I got to the door, I saw a police car sitting there, and I was like, "Uh-oh, the police are coming." And I didn't even go upstairs yet. So we jumped in the elevator and went upstairs. I'm limping and everything, but I don't feel nothing. It's numb. When we got upstairs, I looked around and it scared the shit out of me. And he was asked why, and he said because Andre Harrell was there, Diddy was there, and Biggie, and there were about 40 other people there. All of them had jewelry on, more jewelry than me. I saw Booker, and he had this look on his face like he was surprised to see me. Why? I had just beeped the buzzer and said that I was coming upstairs. Nobody would approach me. I noticed nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't even look at me, and I had been going to dinner with him the last few days, and he invited me to the set of New York Undercover, telling me that he was going to get me a job, and Diddy was standing back too. I knew Puff. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. And this is exactly what Kirk Burrows said. He said that Diddy was getting jealous about his connections with these executives. And remind you, this incident right here is what started the East Coast and the West Coast war. And Kirk Burrows has also alleged that Diddy is the one that was basically pushing all of this and putting out rumors and making it happen. And the incident at Quad Studios happened November of 1994. And then just a couple months later, tensions would rise even worse on February 21st of 1995 when Biggie released Who Ya. Mind you, Kirk Burrows alleged that Diddy was responsible for Tupac and Biggie both. Now we are hearing this being alleged by another person that was close to Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.